The crimson hologram flickered in the sterile chamber as Ambassador Marcus stood before the semicircular arrangement of alien dignitaries. The Galactic Council had convened in emergency session, their collective decision already written in the cold expressions of the assembled representatives. "The species known as humans," announced Prime Chancellor Velth, his crystalline voice echoing through the vast hall, "are hereby expelled from the Galactic Council. Your aggressive tendencies, your unpredictable nature, and your refusal to conform to established protocols make you incompatible with civilized galactic society." Marcus felt the weight of 500 years of human diplomacy crumbling around him. The other species had always viewed humanity with suspicion. Their rapid technological advancement, their stubborn independence, and their tendency to question authority had made them outcasts among the stars. The final straw had been humanity's refusal to surrender their military fleet during the Great Disarmament Treaty. "We gave you a chance," continued Velth, his four eyes gleaming with what might have been satisfaction. "We offered you membership, trade agreements, and protection. Yet you persist in your barbaric ways. You are forbidden from entering council space. Your colonies will be isolated. Your ships will be turned away from all civilized worlds." The assembled delegates murmured their approval. The reptilian Korthic representative hissed softly, while the ethereal lumina being flickered with pleased energy patterns. Even the usually neutral Gorlick nodded their massive heads in agreement. Marcus straightened his shoulders. "Very well. Humanity will remember this day, and we will remember how the so-called civilized galaxy treated us when we sought only cooperation and mutual respect." The journey back to human space took 3 months. During that time, Marcus composed his report, knowing that it would reach every human colony, every space station, and every military installation within the week. The message was simple. Humanity was alone now, cast out by those who claimed to represent order and civilization. President Davis received the report in her office on New Geneva Station. She was a woman who had risen through the ranks of the colonial administration, known for her practical approach to impossible problems. As she read Marcus's account, her expression remained steady, but her advisors could see the steel forming in her eyes. "Call an emergency session of the Colonial Parliament," she ordered, "and send a message to Admiral Kane. Tell him to accelerate." The Prometheus Project. The Prometheus Project had been humanity's secret for 2 decades. While they had publicly maintained their exploration fleets and merchant vessels, they had quietly been developing something far more ambitious. Hidden in the asteroid fields of the Outer Rim, massive shipyards had been constructing a new generation of vessels designed not for trade or exploration, but for expansion and defense. Dr. Alan Webb, the project's chief architect, had spent years studying the weaknesses in galactic civilization. The council races had grown complacent, relying on their technological superiority and established trade routes. They had forgotten that survival sometimes required adaptation and innovation. The first phase of humanity's response began 6 months after the expulsion. Human fleets, larger and more advanced than anything the galaxy had seen, emerged from previously unknown jump points. They bypassed council space entirely, heading for the galactic rim, where uncharted systems waited to be claimed. Captain Lisa Stone commanded the first wave of colony ships. Her flotilla of 12 vessels carried 50,000 colonists and enough equipment to establish permanent settlements on a dozen worlds. Unlike the Council's careful, bureaucratic approach to expansion, humanity moved with purpose and speed. The planets they chose were often dismissed by other species as uninhabitable. Worlds with harsh climates, dangerous wildlife, or unusual atmospheric conditions were perfect for humans who had learned to adapt to every environment from the frozen moons of Jupiter to the scorching deserts of Mars. Within 5 years, humanity had established over 100 colonies. Their population exploded as families were encouraged to have children, and their technology, advanced at an unprecedented rate. Free from the Council's restrictive regulations and technology-sharing agreements, human scientists and engineers pushed the boundaries of what was possible. The breakthrough came when Dr. Emma Foster successfully developed the first stable artificial wormhole generator. While the Council still relied on natural jump points and their carefully mapped trade routes, humanity could now create their own pathways between stars. The implications were staggering. Admiral Kane, now commanding the largest human fleet in history, stood on the bridge of the battlecruiser Defiance as it emerged from a newly created wormhole. Before him stretched a star system that should have been weeks away from human space. The artificial wormhole had brought them here in minutes. "Begin the survey," he ordered. "If this system is suitable, we establish a forward base within the month." The Council first became aware of humanity's expansion when their deep space monitors detected massive energy signatures in previously empty sectors. Long-range reconnaissance revealed the truth. Humanity had not only survived their expulsion, but had built an empire that dwarfed anything the galaxy had seen in centuries. The human colonies were connected by a network of artificial wormholes, creating a civilization that could move fleets and resources across vast distances almost instantaneously. Their technology had advanced beyond Council standards, and their military capabilities were formidable. When the Council finally attempted to make contact, they found themselves facing a humanity that had been transformed by adversity. The scattered colonies had become unified under a single government, the Terran Federation, which spoke with one voice across 1,000 worlds. President Davis, now elderly but still sharp, received the Council's delegation in the capital city of New Earth. The roles had reversed completely. Where once Marcus had stood as a supplicant before the Council, now their representatives came seeking audience with humanity. "We have reconsidered our position," Prime Chancellor Velf announced, his crystalline voice less confident than it had been years before. The Council would like to discuss the possibility of renewed diplomatic relations. Davis smiled, but it was not a warm expression. "The Terran Federation appreciates your interest, Chancellor. We will consider your proposal and respond in due time." As the alien delegation departed, Davis looked out at the bustling streets of New Earth. Humanity had learned that sometimes the greatest victories came not from joining the established order, but from having the courage to forge a new path among the stars.